So just like if you overfill your closet and you walk in and you say, "Ugh, I have nothing to wear," right? It's the same thing in your pantry.
I have nothing
If
to
you
eat.
pack it too full, it's like, what am I going to make?
I don't have the right pasta. Where is that can of vegetables I was looking for?
Exactly. And so you have to make the conscious decision where if you're going out and buying more, then you have to figure out what you're going to do with those extra items.
Welcome to Reframe and Reclaim. We are Courtney Huckabee, a psychotherapist,
and Jen Harris, an interior designer who have teamed up
to reflect,
challenge,
and reframe your mindset in relationship with your personal belongings.
Join us as we discuss and declutter all of the stuff that keeps us stuck.
Learn to intentionally create environments with improved function and design that cultivate peace of mind. Find the reframe.
Start your reclaim.
Welcome back to Reframe and Reclaim. I'm Courtney Huckabee.
And I'm Jen Harris.
And we are here in the year 2026. We're in our second year of Reframe and Reclaim.
Yep.
We started with our book, which we're so proud of, Reframe and Reclaim, the 7-step guide to reframe your relationship with your belongings and reclaim the space in your home, functionality and aesthetic and emotional feel. And now we have our podcast. So excited for our podcast. We can kind of send you some tips and tricks throughout the weeks of some information, some education about organization and decluttering, statistics, some stuff about culture and psychology. But nah, you've been waiting for it. You didn't know you were waiting for it. We have now our new Reframe and Reclaim 23-page pantry guide. This is something that we were working really hard during our fall and winter months, and we are now selling this as a virtual PDF file for you to start to go through your own Reframe and Reclaim just with a pantry. That's where I started, and I was like, Jen, we have to do the pantry. Everyone uses it.
Yes, it's a very frequently used space, so keeping this in order kind of helps all mealtime prep go smoothly and just helps the house function more easily.
So this as well goes through the 7 steps, but we're going to talk about some common mistakes that happen in the pantry.
Yes. So Courtney, have you ever bought more food than will fit in your pantry?
You know the answer. Whenever we were going through the Reframe Reclaim process, I was actually one of the first clients because I was like, let's practice this. We've got to practice before we take this out into the real world. Make sure this really works. I took all of the things out of my pantry. We had 2 tables, not just like tables, like
tables.
6-foot folding table, and then my dining room table that sits 8 people, full of food just out of my pantry.
And then a counter of expired food too, a whole counter.
The reason I had that counter of expired food is because I bought too much and then I couldn't find it. Like it wouldn't fit.
Yes.
And then there was no organization. So I definitely have bought too much food than fits in my pantry.
So just like if you overfill your closet and you walk in and you say, I have nothing to wear, right? It's the same thing in your pantry.
I have nothing
to eat. If you
eat.
pack it too full, it's like, what am I going to make?
I don't have the right pasta. Where is that can of vegetables I was looking for?
Exactly. And so you have to make the conscious decision where if you're going out and buying more, then you have to figure out what you're going to do with those extra items, right? And you have to consciously make that decision. Are you going to backstock it? Are you going to, put it somewhere it doesn't belong, but then that breaks down the system? So that's one of the common mistakes.
Are you going to find the reframe? Which is, Courtney, you really don't need all of this food all of the time. And start your reclaim. Now I can find the cans and the pasta and the snacks and the popcorn and the pancake mix in my pantry. And I don't buy anything new until I've eaten it.
But again, and this goes back, it's not shaming or anything like that.
It's common.
Yes. And again, I've had expired food as well. but you can't find it, and so you don't know what you don't know, right? If you can't see it, you don't know.
Yeah, it's a scavenger hunt in your pantry, then we need to start a reframe.
Another common mistake, let's say you don't overfill it, right? You don't have extra items, but you fill it to max capacity. So you have no wiggle room for flexibility, right? So we talk about the 80-20 rule a lot in our book. And so you want to have about 80% that stays and then the 20% flexibility or empty space. So that way it fluctuates with if you buy something new or, you have a big dinner party. And so you want to have some extra items and space for big pasta dinner, right?
Sure.
And so having that flexibility really, really helps.
I will say that's one thing that I've implemented. I can't say I'm always 80-20 because sometimes that 20 gets filled 10%.
Of course.
But I am very, very much more aware of, can I see all the things and reach all of the things in my pantry? And if I can't, I've got to go in and kind of do some inventory.
And maybe the flexibility for you is you have the 20% or an empty space or bin where this is eat this first, right? This is about to go bad. We need to consume this first. Or maybe it's seasonal items, right? In the fall, we like to do s'mores more. So we have a space where it's like, okay, well, this is going to be extra, chocolate and marshmallows and graham crackers, but I also like more soups. And so I don't want to make a whole new big soup container, but I might throw soups in like the seasonal bin. So it just gives you a little bit of flexibility so your system's not breaking down and being overfilled for certain times of the year.
Definitely.
So that's another common mistake. Something else we see a lot is you look at those beautiful, beautiful Pinterest boards. Those beautiful
Pinterest.
I know. And me too. But it's like all the different types of pasta are labeled. So you have your penne and you have your angel hair and you have, everything is completely detailed out. And then that can cause a problem. Because if you are too detailed, then if you don't have that pasta, then it's just an empty container. Or if you need, again, you're having a big get together and you need more space and flexibility for something else, you don't have it. So everything is too detailed and too on a micro level. So if you can do more macro level instead of like Cheerios or pancake mix or granola or oatmeal, if you can keep it all just breakfast.
Yes.
Then you have that flexibility, right? Because people tend to have oatmeal more in the winter time and cereals more in like spring, summer, or,
And if you have children, they will eat the same food for 2 weeks and they're like, I don't want it anymore.
I don't like this. My taste buds change.
The Cheerios, it has to be relabeled. But if you just did breakfast, like when you go to the grocery store every week or 2 weeks, you can ask your kids or your husband or ask yourself, do I really want to have oatmeal again this week? Or would I rather have frozen waffles in the freezer? Or would I rather have, pancake mix or toast? And then you can just like put that in that space. I love that idea.
And I get it. I'm a very detail-oriented person. I would love everything to be in its own specific place. I've tried that. It did not work for me. If that system does work for you and you have the space in order to itemize down to that level, I do recommend either like dry erase labels or a chalkboard label or get your own personalized label maker. They have some that hook up to apps, so it's really easy to make new labels so you can easily change it out and it's not becoming a big hassle, right?
Definitely. Yeah, but I like the idea of like canned vegetables. Pasta, rice, because I have like the brown rice and the jasmine rice and the cilantro rice and the whatever, so I just have like a rice bin. So, but if I find I'm running out of brown rice, I'm like, I'm not having brown rice this week. I better eat the white rice, and then I'll get more brown rice. I've learned that. That's been my reframe and how I've reclaimed.
Nice.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this: another common mistake that we talk a lot about in the book is in the maintenance step is not recruiting others. So let's say you redo the pantry, but another member of your household comes in and they're like, where are things? And it might be labeled, but it might be at the back of this bin. And they're like, where is this item? What's going on here? And they're super confused, right? And so this is a really important step that a lot of people skip because if you're putting the system together, you're
I
like,
did
this
it.
makes sense to me.
I did it.
And I labeled it so
It's
people
done.
should be able to find it, right?
It makes sense to me. It should make sense to everyone in the
Exactly.
world.
It doesn't?
No, not in my home.
But really being open in that communication and teaching people about the system and the expectations of it. And even like simple things of problem solving, like, well, if it doesn't fit here, this is where it goes, is in this flex space, or it goes in this backstock area. And just being really open with that communication, keep the system working.
Open communicating the system and asking others to be open to following your system.
Mm-hmm.
And if you realize that this system isn't working for others, then let's come back and find out the system that will work for others, instead of me continuing to be frustrated and me continuing to, get angry and me continuing to reorganize everything.
Yes. And then the fifth thing that I have found is like a common mistake is not regularly assessing what you have in your pantry.
Assessments.
Yes. So whether you do it before you go to the store to check out, okay, what do I have? What do I need? But really looking at, what am I consuming more frequently? What do I need to buy more of? Am I going through this item more quickly than a week, or more quickly than my next grocery run?
Mm-hmm.
It also, this allows you to look at those expiration dates and say, what do I need to eat? This has been in the pantry a while to keep things from going bad. Just really being able to assess what you have, because this is going to save you time and money in the long run, because you're not going to be throwing away food that has expired.
Right.
You're not going to be buying extra at the store because you couldn't find it, or you didn't know you had it, or you needed it just because you might need it. You could use it one day.
Yeah. And I'm not going to go to the store and buy angel hair pasta just because my recipe calls for angel hair pasta. If I just have bow tie pasta, I'm going to shift and maybe make bow tie pasta tonight instead of making an extra one trip for angel hair.
Right. So you're saving the money from eating all the food that you have. You're also saving the money from the gas going to the grocery store for that one item you forgot. You're saving time, not only from not going to the grocery store, but also the time of finding the item. So you're not digging in your pantry trying to find what I have.
I love that. And I'll say, these are 5 common mistakes.
Yes.
Again, mistakes I've made. Just know, they're my mistakes too.
We've learned from our mistakes. We're trying to share that information.
We want
with you.
to share so you don't have to continue to struggle with these mistakes. Now, they're common because it happens to a lot of people, but what are some things that you can kind of notice that have been a struggle for you in your pantry area? What would you like to kind of shift and put into practice? And then also, if you want just like an easy step-by-step guide, like this is like your thing. It has questions, it has fill in the blank, it has information for you to kind of work through, and it's personalized just for you and your home and your home's functioning needs. So this is really exciting. We have this now available on our website, reclaim.com, and go to our store. You can download this really simply. It comes to you. We're saving paper. You can print it if you like. If you want, create a PDF, type in all their stuff. But this is a really great resource. And then if you want, you'll have the copy. You can reuse it again in the next year. Or if you move, you have this for your other new space.
Yes.
So we're really excited. We hope that you are enjoying the beginning of 2026. We've started with some really great challenges. We want you to know we're on your side. We're here for you. Reach out to us, comment, share this information with somebody you know and love, and we'd love to hear from you soon.